And now for the first episode of Car Repair for Babies. Yes. So when you have to repair a car, you have to know how to do it or you mess something up. And it makes a big mess, a big puddle on the ground. You know about puddles on the ground, don't you? And so whenever we're repairing the car, maybe the first thing we'll start with is changing the oil. Yes, well, changing the oil be fun. It's like changing a diaper, only a little bit more complicated. And it gets you dirty, just like changing a diaper does. And so what you first have to do, is you have to find out where your oil filter is. And you also need to find out where your oil pan is. And you need to find out where you put the oil in. That's right. I bet you could do all that, can't you? So, once you find out where the oil pan is, there should be a little bolt, a little thing that you can undo, and all the oil comes spilling out all over your hands, and it's a great big mess. But maybe you can put something underneath it to catch the big mess. And so the next thing you do after all the oil comes out and makes a big mess is that you can take off the oil filter. The oil filter may be close to on the underside, but some cars put it on the upper side so you can find easier. But it's a little round cylinder. Yes, it is. Yes, that's right. And so if it's a little round cylinder and you find that and you undo it, and then oil spills out all over your hands. And then it makes another big mess. So you have to be careful not to make too many big messes. So you have to have a new oil filter, and you put that one in there. Yes, you do. And then you have to put the little bolt back in to the oil pan. And then when it's all done with that stuff, you have a little dribble right here. And once you're done with putting all the oil things back on the bottom, and you have to do this because if you start putting oil in the top and you don't close at the bottom, it'll just all go out the bottom. It's like forgetting to put your diaper on. So you put the oil in the top where the oil has to get filled up. And once you fill it up, you have to put the right amount. You don't want to put too much in because that will make another big mess, and it might make your car smoke a whole lot. So once you put the right amount of oil, it might be 4 quarts or it might be 5 quarts, then you have to test it to see if you got the right amount. So you have to pull out the dipstick. That's right, you pull out the dipstick and wipe it off with a paper towel and then stick it back in and then see if it matches the amount you're supposed to have. There will be 2 little lines on there, and in between the 2 little lines, it'll be the right amount. But if it is to above the top line or below the bottom line, then you don't have the right amount. And you have to get the right amount in there. All right? And then you close up the whatever the oil thing is called.
Oh, don't interrupt.
And then you'll be all done. And then you can go drive your car. And it'll drive about the same, but it might last a little bit longer if you do that. And you try to do it every 3,000 to 6,000 miles. Okay? Can you do that? And this has been the first episode of Car Repair for Babies.
And here's the star of the show, Mr. O.